Hey everyone, welcome back to the All Things Lifestyle podcast. I am your host, Tay. What's going on? Uploaded on Mother's Day, and I'm uploading on Thursday. So you will definitely get an episode on Thursday this week. Happy Thursday if you're listening, or whatever day you're listening, but my upload day is Thursday. Happy Thursday. Thank you so much for listening and tuning back in for another episode. So like I mentioned on the last episode, I've been having some technical difficulties. I think I got it fixed now, but I have no idea like what I be doing. I have a MacBook Pro. It's only a couple years old. It's not that old, but I've just been having some like difficulties with it. So hopefully it's fixed and I can get back, because for some reason, like when I'm trying to record and I'm trying to get in my zone, I'm just trying to start and it's like, oh, this is full, no space for this, and all these little things that happen on my computer, and it gets in the way, and I'm just like, I get so unmotivated. I'm like, no, I don't even like, no. But I'm like, I want to keep putting out episodes. So I did some little research on YouTube and I think I found a solution to my problem. So hopefully this is good. So but anyway, we're just going to keep moving forward. Not going to let the technical difficulties stop the content. We're not going to let it stop the podcast, okay? So this week, and again, I recorded this episode already. But again, with my computer acting crazy, it just deleted all of my audio. So I'm doing this for the second time around, and we're going to get it this time. Okay, so for this episode, we're going to be checking in. So what I mean by checking in is check in with your goals for the year, your goals for the quarter. Any kind of goals you set. You could set monthly goals, you know what I'm saying? But I'm specifically in this episode, I'm going to be referring to quarterly goals, because I feel like setting quarterly goals, it helps you get to the yearly goal that you want to set, because yearly goals, you want to achieve those goals at some point through that year. So you made goals for 2022, you want to at least accomplish the goal 3 months in, 6 months in, or December of 2022. Like, you want to get it done in the year that you set it. So I feel like setting quarterly goals are like mini goals to get to the big goal, so that's how I feel about quarterly goals, and that's why I like to set them. Sometimes I may set weekly goals, monthly goals, but mostly I'll set like quarterly goals and yearly goals for myself. That's going to be the topic of discussion for this week's episode. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into my weekly recap. I kind of did this already on the Mother's Day episode that we did. It was so much fun. Thank you to my mom and my sister for being on with me. I liked recording. I liked recording with them. Like, it was fun to have somebody to talk to and to bounce conversation off of. Even though I like doing my podcast, like, it's just me solo. Like, I know I'm talking to y'all. Like, I'm not talking to myself. I'm talking to y'all. But it was nice to have, like, somebody there to talk to. So definitely gonna do more guests. I like having a guest on my podcast, so that was fun. If you haven't listened to that episode, go check that out. For my recap, so it was Mother's Day weekend. My mom came, and we pretty much just chilled. It was so rainy and cold in the DMV. Like, for Mother's Day, like, it was literally the whole weekend rainy and cold. Like, it was like you didn't want to leave the house. And literally, me and my mom, like, we stayed in one night, drank wine, watched a little movie. Like, we just enjoyed ourselves. The next day, I took her to the mall. We, walked around a little bit. I feel like the mall is good exercise. I don't think I'll ever go to the mall to actually shop for something. I always go to the mall and be like, okay, I just feel like walking around the mall. If I find something cool, but I don't think I ever go to the mall on a mission to find something. And I feel like that's how we were. But even though we did go to the mall to get something, it was not like leisurely shopping. It was like she needed to get something that we knew we were going to find. I feel like it wasn't anything like, oh, I want to find something. You know what I'm saying? It was something that she knew she was gonna find. So, but for me, I never go to the mall to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go and yeah, no. I just it may be like for something last minute, like if I need some jewelry to go to with an outfit for that day, but I never go to the mall to find anything in specific. I'll just go just to leisurely shop. If I find something, I do. If I don't, then I just don't. Like anybody else out there like that, like I just don't intentionally go to the mall to shop. I mean, I do go to the mall to shop, but I don't intentionally go to find something in specific, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making sense right now. Hopefully I am. Like, do y'all feel me on that? Like, so went to the mall. That was fun. Of course, we got some Auntie Annie's. I just feel like you can't go to the mall without getting like a snack. You got the little kiosk, like the little snack places, like whether it's a pretzel, some ice cream, any kind of snack in the mall. I just feel like it's mandatory. Like you need something to eat, something to sip on while you're like walking around the mall. And Auntie Annie's, this was my first time having their little slushies. They had strawberry and blue raspberry. I got the blue one. My mom got the strawberry one. They were actually really good. I was like, okay, like finished the whole thing. It was really good. So yes, Auntie Annie's come through with the slushies. But yeah, so that was that. And like I mentioned this on the last podcast episode. We talked about it. Yardbird. Definitely check out Yardbird if you have it in your area. Food is so good. Like my mom mentioned, the atmosphere, the drinks, it just was all 10 out of 10 for me. So, but yeah, we went into a little more detail in the last episode on that. But yeah, that was pretty much like my weekend recap because this is like, I'm recording this like 2 days later. So, yeah. So that was my weekend recap. No, like, nothing major, just some chill vibes with my mom. Mother's Day, like I said, the weather was terrible. Um, yeah, just chill vibes throughout the whole weekend. Okay, so I did want to mention something. So I go into my little stash, like my product stash, because I ran out of body wash. And because like for my shower routine, I guess, like I like to use like a bar of soap, for like actually feeling clean, like a bar of soap, and then I'll go on my body wash, like a scented body wash after. And I ran out of my scented body wash, and so I go in my little product stash, and I had a Suave. It was, I think it's honey almond milk or something, and it smells so good, and it feels good. So I know I got this as a gift because me personally, when I go into the store, I don't pick up Suave. I just don't. So I know I got it. I got it as a gift. So I got it as a gift, and I used it, and I was like, whoa, this is moisturizing. When I think of Suave, I don't think of moisturizing. I don't know, but it's been so long since I've used Suave, so I'm like, okay, like, but this body wash was very moisturizing. It smells so good. I was like, okay, like look at Suave, and Suave is so affordable in the stores, and so yeah. Just wanted to give Suave a shout out because yes, moisturizing. Like I feel like like I said, when I think of Suave, I think of like it might leave your skin kind of dry, and no, it left your skin like it leaves your skin kind of like moisturized, like a good body wash. Like my skin felt the same as if I was using I like to use Caress. So like if I use my Caress or what other brand? Any other of my favorite body wash brands. I'm going to go ahead and get into the question of the week. So, like I said, I did this a couple weeks ago. I tried to record this, but I lost my audio footage of it. So, I'm just going to run this back. So the questions that I asked this specific week was, do you set quarterly goals? And did you accomplish the goal or goals you set for the first quarter? So we are into the second quarter. The first quarter is January, February, March. Second quarter, April, May, June. So we are in May. We're about a month and some change into the quarter. So for the first question, do you set quarterly goals? A lot of people said no. So this was like a poll. A lot of people said no. And then, did you accomplish the goal or goals you set for the first quarter? A lot of people said no as well. I got some yeses, but majority no's. And hopefully, these tips and these tips I give on this episode will help you for either this quarter, third quarter, or fourth quarter to set the quarterly goals and to try to accomplish them, because like I said, they're like, it'll help you. They're like stepping stones to get to your big goal at the end for the year. That's what really motivated me to do this episode, because I'm like, okay, like let's get people setting some goals. Like this will help you in the long run. Like, telling you, setting goals, having something to look forward to definitely helps 100%. Let's just go ahead and get into the tips. So the first tip I wrote down, like I said, is and these are tips to keep up, like I said, to keep up with your goals, your quarterly goals. Set mini goals. So what I mean by this is you could set a goal for the week. So like, say one of your quarterly goals is to keep up with your savings account. So you have this much money total that you want to save for the quarter. So for weekly goals, you can just break that down. Whether it's like, okay, I want to save $20 this week, I want to save $50 this week, I want to save $100 this week, and so forth, to get to the main goal, if that makes sense. Like I said, it contributes little by little to that main goal. So that's something that definitely helps setting weekly goals. So my second tip that I wrote down is to keep a planner or a journal. Planners and journals, for me, it just keeps me organized with things that I need to do. I'm not the busiest person, but I do have like things I need to do. Like, I need to write down, I need to write out a grocery list. I like to write down to-do lists for the week, like for the day, for the week. And me personally, I tried to keep a planner. I'm not good with planners per se, but I'm very good with just journal, like just regular paper. I'm good with just writing down, because I feel like it's just like freeing. Like, I have all this space to write down anything. I could write down ideas. I could write down my thoughts for today. I could write down a to-do list. I could write down a grocery list. I could write down, it's just so many. It's not as structured. Like a planner, I feel like I just could never keep up with a planner versus keeping up with a journal. So for me, a journal helps me stay organized. And I feel like whether you're not busy or the busiest person, still keep a planner or a journal to stay organized. Like, especially if you're a person that has a million and one things. Because I know people, like, they'll have a million and one things to do, and they're just like, oh shoot, I forgot this, I forgot this. Even though, like, sometimes you could write it down and still forget it, but I feel like it's always good to just keep a journal or a planner. And I feel like the notes app on your phone, it helps sometimes too, to a certain extent. But for me, I feel like just writing that down on pen and paper is just so much more helpful. Like, keep it written down. That's what I like about keeping a journal or a planner, actually writing it down. Third tip, try to keep a routine. Whether this is a morning routine, a night routine, something to keep you doing the same thing for at least 4 to 5 days out the week. I know every day we're not going to have that perfect morning routine. We're not going to have that perfect night routine. We're not going to have that perfect dinner. It's just, it doesn't happen. But at least 4 to 5 days out the week, I feel like will keep you in the swing of things enough to where if you do fall off a day, you do fall off for 2 days, you've been doing it for 4 or 5 days. So I feel like that definitely will, it could snap you back into the routine if you fall off for a day or two, because it's normal. We're human. We have things going on. We go out, we go clubbing, we go to bars, and we want to rest. We want to just sit up and just watch TV and chill and just relax. So sometimes we fall off of our routines. Like, no, I feel like everybody, you can have the most strictest routine, but somebody falls off eventually. Like, people fall off eventually, and it's okay. But as long as you always find your way back to the routine, like, it's just so important to, because I know for me, I definitely, like, I fell off a routine, like my workout routine, like 2-3 months, and I got back into it, but I had to, like, kind of do like a heavy hitter. Like, for the month of April, I set to run 30 miles in 30 days. And I did that, but it was like I had to do something to get in there. Try to keep a routine at least 4 to 5 days out the week of doing the same thing will definitely help. No matter what the routine is, whether it's I'm going to go to bed at the same time, I'm going to wake up at the same time, I'm going to make sure I meal prep, I'm going to just keep a routine of doing the same thing every week or every day. And that definitely will help. It will help contribute to those goals, because you'll have it in your brain and be like, okay, I'm doing this for a reason. Okay, so I'm just going to pause quickly, just do a quick pause here in the middle of the episode. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for listening. If you like what you're hearing on the podcast, go ahead and follow. Whether you're listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give me a star rating and go ahead and leave me a review. It will really help me out so much, get my podcast ranked up there. So yeah, go ahead and give me a review if you really love what you're hearing. And just wanted to say thank you. Okay, so tip number 4, hold yourself accountable. Don't make excuses. Make sure you know what your long-term goals are. So this is what I mean by having something to look forward to, having something to work towards. So a lot, like, even me myself, like, I like to make an excuse, like, oh, I have to go to work, or I have to do this. You have to hold yourself accountable, and if you want to do something, you want to accomplish those goals, you may have to you have to make sacrifices. So holding yourself accountable, you have to. So that sacrifice of doing this, you may lose like 30 minutes of something, you know what I'm saying? But you have to hold yourself accountable and don't make excuses. A lot of us love to make excuses, including me myself. I will make excuses to not do something because I am a big procrastinator. I definitely will admit it. I am, but that's just something we just got to get out of as humans. Like, we procrastinate a lot, but making sure we know what our long-term goals are and what our end goal is definitely motivating and can definitely help you get to that goal, and to not make those excuses and to hold yourself to the higher standard. Like, get yourself up and get going, keep working towards the goal, and think about what are you doing it for? Like, oh, I'm not just working out 5 days a week for nothing. You working out 5 days a week, you want to get that summer body. Feel me? Like, that's just an example. But you're doing what you're doing for a reason. Okay, so the last tip I'm going to name. So I thought I had 6 in here, but I have 5. I don't know where I got 6 from. I have 5. I wrote something in here, thought it was a tip, but it's not. I have 5 tips. So, sorry. Thought I had a 6th one. So this 5th tip is something that I have started incorporating by me moving. So when I moved from Texas to DMV, I downsized. So not by a lot, but just by a little bit. But it feels like a lot, but it wasn't a lot. Because you just don't realize how much stuff you have until you move, first of all. So this tip is I'm going to go into the tip. Sorry. I always get sidetracked and I just will start going off. But the tip is to start a minimalist concept. Not saying I am a minimalist, because I am far from a minimalist. But with certain aspects of my life, I have started that. So, like, for example, I used to buy a lot of makeup, but I used to be really into makeup. So I would want to buy so much makeup, but it's like, it's impossible to use all of the makeup. You know what I'm saying? And then makeup goes bad. Like, makeup goes old. Like, foundation, mostly liquids. Foundations, concealers, and all the liquid makeups, those definitely go bad. You could keep the powder ones, I feel like, for a little bit longer, but makeup goes bad. And one thing I started, since I'll do my makeup, but I'm not super into makeup how I used to be. So I'll do a one in and one out concept. I just ran out of a foundation and I just bought a new foundation, but I only have one foundation. Same with my concealer. I ran out of my concealer. I got a new concealer. I just have one concealer, one powder. I still have like a few eyeshadow palettes, but even now, like, I would want to buy like all the new eyeshadow palettes that come out, but I'm like, it's not realistic because I don't do my makeup that often. So I've definitely started that with my makeup, and I have kind of started that with like buying like lotions and all this stuff. Like, I used to have a stash of like 4 or 5 lotions as backups. Like, what? It's a little excessive. So I'll probably keep a stash of like one extra one, like, soon as I run out. But yeah, like, I just feel like keeping, like, I'm a person like, oh, I need backups, I need backups, I need backups. Like, I probably have a backup of like 3 eyelash glues, but I feel like I go through eyelash glue more because I'm quick to put on a pair of lashes versus like makeup. But yeah, like, I'm that person. I got backups. I got backups of candles. I have backups of laundry detergent. I have backups of so many things, and it's like, okay, Tay, like, I'm a little excessive in that concept, but I feel like doing the one in one out, I've started to doing the minimalist concept and starting it in the one in one out. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be my whole life. I'm going to incorporate this and what did I say? I'm not going to incorporate this concept with everything, because one thing I love clothes. I like to shop for clothes. I don't see that going away. I like clothes, but I do give away clothes too. So but I have a lot of clothes, which is fine. I feel like that's perfectly fine because that's what I like. So, yeah. But saying, I just feel like starting the minimalist concept contributes to accomplishing your quarterly goals, because you won't have as much clutter. You won't be as distracted. It kind of keeps you like on a straight and narrow path. Like, okay, I got this. I don't need this. I have this. You know what I'm saying? It kind of keeps your ducks in a row. Like I said, this is something new I've just started. Like I said, this minimalist concept, this is something new I just started. So this is definitely the newest tip. But all the other tips I've definitely been doing for a long time. So definitely will help. But this minimalist concept, I feel like it is helping because it's not keeping me like, oh, I want to go buy tons of this and this and that. So definitely helps. So yeah, try out the minimalist concept. Try out all of these tips and let me know, like, whether, and we're a month and some change into, we're almost a month and a half into the second quarter. So, you know, even if you haven't started anything to contribute to a goal, even if you write down one goal and just crush it. Whether it's one goal for the quarter, 2 or 3, crush them. Don't let, oh, the second quarter is halfway over, I'll get to a third quarter. Because, not gonna lie, that's something I would say. But I just feel like, just start. And that's what I had to do. And that's what I have to keep telling myself. Just do it. Just start. Okay, just do it and just start. Like, so definitely, I would say just do it. And yeah, like, just start planning those goals. Start writing down those goals. Start writing down things you want to accomplish. Everybody wants to accomplish something in life. Write it down and work towards it. And I know for my first quarter goals, I didn't accomplish all of my goals for the first quarter, but I'm definitely, and what I do is the goals I didn't accomplish in the first quarter, I'll bring it down to the second quarter, and I'm like, I'm definitely going to crush it. Because I know what I was doing in the first quarter: procrastinating, being lazy, not focused, unmotivated. And sometimes you can't help it, because sometimes your mental takes over and it's hard sometimes. But like I said, making sure you know what your end goal and your long-term goals are is definitely motivating, and it will definitely help you. Okay, well, on that note, I'm going to wrap up this episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed it. I feel like setting goals is just key to life. I feel like it's so important because you have to have something to look forward to. Like I mentioned before, follow the podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and tune back in next Thursday for another episode. Bye.